Hello, my name is Madam Jennifer from Educare TZ. Welcome again, my lovely Form 3 students, in our proceeding lecture series of biology, and we are currently proceeding with our lovely topic known as movement, where we have already covered first, second subtopic, and we are proceeding, and we have already covered also in this third subtopic of human skeletal system. And in our today's session, we will look on our fourth subtopic, which is known as the concepts of muscle. Muscle tunazungumzia misuli. Now we will see on how these muscles are adapted to support the body movement from one place to another, how different parts of the human skeletal of the human body are supported by this kind of muscle in supporting the body movement. Also, we see different kind of muscle, different types of muscle, and their adaptation in supporting the movement, protection, as well as and other metabolic activity within the body of the human being. Now, by starting with the concept of the muscle, the movement of body part is made possible by the presence of muscle, meaning that we can't move without muscle. Hatuwezi tukakimbia, hatuwezi tukatembea, hatuwezi tukafanya kitu chochote pasipokuwa na misuli. And that is called muscular movement. In this kind of movement found for all vertebrates. Now, the skeleton alone cannot bring about locomotion and movement. So, skeleton alone cannot bring about locomotion and movement until it is supplemented by muscles as well as joint and other components. So, a muscle is a contractile tissue specialized for relaxation and contraction to bring about movement and locomotion. So, in order for muscle to bring about the movement, it must contract and relax so as to bring about the movement. Take an example on the muscles found in your arm. Katika mkono wako there are two types of muscles, ambao kuna biceps na triceps. This muscle they allow the movement. Unaweza ukanyosha mkono wako by the relaxation and contraction of this kind of muscle. Vile vile unaweza ukakunja mkono by relaxation and contraction of these two kinds of the muscle which are found in your upper limbs of the arm. So, muscles are attached to bones and are composed of many elongated fiber called muscle fibers. So, within the skeleton, there is fusion between the muscle and bone, and these muscles are made of the very smallest fibers, about tunaita muscles fibers. So, these muscle fibers are the one which are responsible for the adaptation for movement. During relaxation, and the once muscle stretch muscle fiber tend to regain the original shape and size due to the elasticity. So these muscle fiber have the characteristics of elasticity. Elastic substance, that has ability to regain its original shape after completion of the particular function. And this kind of muscle, they tend to work antagonistically, meaning that they tend to oppose each other. Katika each component of the human skeleton or of the human organ, there are muscles. Na hizi muscles ili kuweza complete their function au kazi zake, zinakuwa zinafanya kazi antagonistically or opposite to one another, meaning that nyingine ikirelax, nyingine inakuwa ina contract. Example, ukiangalia katika muscles ya katika zilizopo katika esophagus, there is contraction and relaxation, meaning that ikicontract ina allow food bolus kuweza kupita, ikirelax ina close. So those is all about the adaptation of the muscle. So they tend to work antagonistically so as to bring about the movement in the body of the human being. Now, muscles are made up of specialized tissue known as contractile tissue. That's why they have a bit to contract and relax. So, muscle work in pair to bring about movement. And one produce movement in one direction and another in opposite direction. That's why we say that they work antagonistically, or they tend to oppose one another. For example, muscles above the humerus become thin when stretched the arm, while below the humerus become thick. Kwa mfano ukistretch your arm, katika arm yako ndio kuna that kind of the bone ambao ni humerus katika upper limb. So in case if you stretch up your arm, the muscles of the above the humerus zenyewe zitakuwa thin, lakini the muscles below the humerus zenyewe zitakuwa ziko thick, meaning that one relax na nyingine imekuwa imecontract. And muscles above the humerus inaitwa biceps na muscles below the humerus inaitwa triceps. Kwa ukiangalia katika mkono wako, the muscle above the humerus ni muscles ziko hapa, na zilizopo below the humerus ni zopo chini. So these are called triceps. So this muscle tends to work antagonistically. So meaning that when you bend of the arm, the bending of the arm is brought about the contraction of biceps and relaxation of the triceps. Kwa mfano nikibend up kwa mfano nikikunja mkono wangu hapa, meaning that the triceps imerelax, lakini ile contract ni biceps. Lakini nikinyosha hivi mkono, biceps ita relax, lakini triceps ita contract. So this is all about this kind of muscles or contractile muscles, on how they bring about the movement. So the triceps muscle sometimes can be called the flexor muscle, and the biceps sometimes can be called the extensor muscle. So don't confuse. Sikia mtu anasema extensor, ajua kwamba anazunguzia biceps, na akizunguzia flexor, ajua kwamba anazunguzia triceps. Now, the muscles above the humerus are called the biceps. These muscles are made up of specialized tissue known as contractile tissue, meaning that they have ability to contract. And these muscles, they work in pairs so as to bring about the movement. So in order for muscles to function, meaning that they have to work in pairs, meaning that one must move in one direction and another must move in opposite direction, meaning that they tend to oppose each other or to work antagonistically so as to bring about the movement. For example, if you take example in the muscles of the arm, there are two main types of the muscle which are found in the upper limbs, which is on the humerus. Example, the muscles above the humerus is known as biceps, and the muscles below the humerus is known as triceps. Or in other terms, you can call it flexor muscle, and the triceps you can call it a extensor muscle. So example, when you stretch up or when you bend up your hand, kwa mfano ukikunja hivi mkono, the muscles above the humerus, this one, so it will contract, lakini triceps ambayo ipo below the humerus, it will relax. So that is how they bring about the movement. They cannot relax or contract at the same time. So the muscles above the humerus are called biceps, and below the humerus are called triceps. And bending of the arm is brought about by the contraction of biceps and relaxation of the triceps. Example, kwa mfano kunyosha mkono, straightening of the arm is brought about the contraction of the triceps and relaxation of this biceps. So muscle are well supplied with the blood vessel to provide nutrient and oxygen. Within the muscle, there are numerous blood capillaries, blood vessels, so to bring about the movement kwa ajili ya kuprovide oxygen kwa ajili ya functioning of the body. Kwa sababu tunajua kwamba muscles zinafanya kazi sana, meaning that they need a great amount of supply of oxygen. So when the blood will be carried there with the blood rich of oxygen will be brought to the muscle, it will be deposited there or will be loaded there so as to support other functioning of the muscular movement. Na in case kama kutakuwa kuna this oxygen deficiency within the muscle, na pelekea ile oxygen debt, na sometimes inaweza kapelekea muscles cramp. Also, muscles act as engine of the body uses to propel itself. Kwa hiyo muscle, without muscle no movement. Kwa muscle hapa ndio engine, inatumia kama engine. Just take an example, kama engine ya gari. Gari hizi kufanya kazi bila pakuwa na engine, na engine lazima iwe na mafuta kwa ajili ya kuweza kufanya movement. The same katika body of the human being, muscle ina function as the engine of the human body. So they turn energy into motion. It would be impossible to do anything without muscle. Kuweza kufanya kitu chochote kile pasipo kuwa na muscles. And this is an example of the muscle of the arm. Kwa mfano hapa kuna this muscle above the humerus ambao ni biceps, and below the humerus ambao ni tricep. Kwa mfano hapo huyu mtu amefanya bending of the arm, meaning that this tricep yenyewe ita contract, lakini tricep yenyewe ita relax, lakini bicep yenyewe imecontract. Lakini if you setting up your stretch up your hand, kwa mfano kunyosha mkono, bicep yenyewe ita relax, lakini tricep yenyewe ita contract. So this is how this muscle, or these two kind of pairs of muscle work in order to bring about the movement. They tend to function antagonistically. Now let us discuss on the types of muscle. My lovely Form 3 students, there are three main types of muscle. In the first one, there is skeletal muscle. Second one, there is smooth muscle, and last one, there is cardiac muscle. Now let us look one after another. Tunapokuwa tunazungumzia skeletal muscle, tunazungumzia muscle gani? Hizi skeletal muscle ni zile muscle ambazo zenyewe ni voluntary, meaning that ili mtu aweze kumove lazima azimie, lazima communication itoke kwenye ubongo kuruhusu kwamba yes, ni here I need to move. This is all about the voluntary movement. It responsible for the movement, this manner movement. Kwa mfano kama walking, running, kuruka, lazima ujiandae kuruka, lazima ujiandae kukimbia. So this is a voluntary muscle which are useful in supporting the body movement. So these are specialized contractile tissue found in vertebrates. They are responsible for locomotion and voluntary movement of the body parts. So these muscles are the one which are responsible for locomotion. And locomotion, that is a process or is the movement of whole body from one place to another. So this kind of muscles are responsible for locomotion, not just a movement. They contract and relax rapidly but get fatigue in relatively short time. So this kind of muscles zinaweza kurelax na zina contract kwa muda mfupi, lakini pia zinaweza zika get this fatigue for a short period of time. And they are controlled by nerve system by receiving these impulses. That's why tunasema kwamba ni voluntary, meaning that taarifa lazima itumwe kwenye ubongo, ibi process na kudetermine yes, nia nahitaji kumove. Kwa mfano hapa ninaungua, mtu alikuwa anaungua, kwa mfano kuna joto. The message will be, all nerve impulse will be sent to the central nervous system ambayo ni brain, na baada ya pale ita process information na kuweza kumbisha kwamba hapo kuna moto. Now move kutoka hiyo sehemu moja kwenda sehemu nyingine ambapo hakuna moto. That is all about the voluntary or skeletal muscle. This kind of muscles, they bring about movement in body tissue due to the presence of tendons between muscles and bones and the presence of ligament attachment between the bones. We have already seen on the adaptation of these ligament, tendons as well as bone in supporting the body movement. So skeletal muscle in skull connect with the skin and are responsible for facial expression and movement of jaw during chewing. Kwa mfano unapokuwa nakula, like this facial expression navyokuwa natazama, navyokuwa nafundisha hapa, this is all about the function of this kind of the muscle ambayo ni skeletal muscle. Inasaidia facial expression, turning of the head, talking, chewing and other surface activities. So this is all brought about this kind of muscle ambayo ni skeletal muscle. So they also used it to move the foot. Kwa mfano kunyanyua miguu, jumping, running, walking is all about the skeletal muscle. So this is one of the structure. This is how it looks like. This kind of the skeletal muscle inapatikana katika mikono, katika miguu and different part of the body. It is made of this smallest kind of the fibrous tissue. Kuna nucleus, there are few, sio nyingi sana. There are these small contractive muscles fiber, na vile kuna this cross section as one of the adaptation to movement. The second type of the muscle is smooth muscle. This kind of the muscle, as the name also identify, they are very smooth, meaning that they are involuntary muscle. They tend to form in this delicate part of the body organs. Kwa mfano kama katika heart, katika liver, they tend to form on this kind of the body parts. Na ndio maana heartbeat, uwezi ukaregulate mapigo yako ya moyo, ni involuntary. Una breathe involuntary, uwezi ukajizuia kutokupumua. So, unstriated or involuntary muscle made up of long and tapered end cell. They are found in most of the internal organs such as in the alimentary canal. They are found in the kidney, in the liver, in the uterus, in the sperm duct as well as in the blood vessel. Also, they are not made of fiber and are controlled by involuntary nervous system. So this kind of muscle are not controlled or are not under the control of the central nervous system. Instead, they are under the control of this peripheral nervous system. They contract slowly, and that's why they does not get fatigue very easier. And the spindle-shaped cell and their smooth muscle structure facilitates movement of food through the gut and movement of blood through the blood vessels. Tulivyosema kwamba this kind of muscle they are found in this internal part of the body organ, kwa mfano katika liver, alimentary canal, katika moyo, katika heart. So meaning that their smooth structure ndio ambayo inasaidia katika facilitation. Kwa mfano katika digestion process, the movement of food in the alimentary canal is brought about this kind of the smooth muscle which are found in that particular area. Na vile vile katika movement of blood through blood vessel, you can't control it. It is involuntary. So their smooth structure and their appearance is one of the adaptation to supporting the functioning of this delicate part of the body organ. Also vile vile katika macho, within the iris, uwezo ukakontroli like this, the movement of the ear ball kope, uwezo control the movement of the ear ball. Kwa mfano, the smooth muscle in the iris control the size of the pupil in response to change of the light intensity. Kwa mfano ukiangalia ghafla tu uko katika normal light, afu ghafla tu mtu akawasha torch kukumulika machoni, ghafla tu utajikuta tayari umeshafumba macho. Au kwa mfano kwenye mwanga mdogo, kwa mfano katika dim light, unaweza kujikuta unaongeza the size of the eye so kuweza kuona kwa haraka. Kwa mfano ukiwa juani kuna jua kali, yes, unaweza ku adjust the size of the involuntary, una adjust the size of the pupil so as to control that kind of the light intensity kwa ajili ya kuweza kuona. So this is the structure zina spindle shape na vile vile zina smooth structure kwa ajili ya adaptation to support this delicate internal structure of the body organ. So now this is the nuclear, there is muscle fiber na vile vile they are non-striated, zenyewe hazina zile striation kama tulivyoona kule katika muscle, katika skeletal muscle. Also another kind of the muscle ni cardiac muscle. This is a pacemaker kind of the muscle ambazo zenyewe zinapatikana katika moyo, katika heart. So they are called heart muscle or myocardium, and they are only found in heart. It's also special muscle which are able to contract without suffering from fatigue and are under the influence of autonomic nervous system. And that's why this muscle, kwa nini zenyewe haziwezi zikasuffer from fatigue? Tumeangalia kuna skeletal muscle na smooth muscle, zenyewe zinakuwa zina suffer from this fatigue, lakini skeletal muscle inakuwa ina suffer more from fatigue as compared to smooth muscle. Lakini this cardiac muscle does not suffer from fatigue. I would like to know why from your comment. Now, these muscles are not under the control of the nervous system, but they are controlled by the autonomic nervous system. The seated nature of the smooth muscle allow pumping of the blood for life of the animal. Kwa hiyo vile vile this kind of muscle they have striation, lakini tumeangalia kwa smooth muscle wenye are not striated, lakini skeletal muscle na cardiac muscle they are striated. Na this kind of the striated nature ya smooth muscle zao zinasaidia pumping for the blood, ambao ndio maana binadamu, in case binadamu akistop kupumua au the heartbeat ikistop, meaning that binadamu kafariki. So this is one of the adaptation of this myocardium as an adaptation to support the pumping of the blood to the heart. And this is the structure of the cardiac muscle which are found only in the heart, or in other words you can call it myocardium, and it has specialized kind of tissue ambayo into a pacemaker. So this is structure, it has this intercalated disc. Intercalated disc kazi yake ni for cushioning, kwa ajili ya kuprevent cushion. Na vile vile it have this striation. Also it has mitochondria as one of the powerhouse of the cell. It have nucleus as well as this numerous striation. So this striation is one of the adaptation ambayo ina facilitate the pumping of the blood katika this kind of the muscles. Now let us see the structures of muscles. We have already discussed on the 3 types of muscles. Now let us look the structure of muscles in general. So muscles are made up of small units called fibers, ambao ni nyuzi, and which are long and cylindrical in shape. They are filled with specialized cytoplasm inaitwa sarcoplasm. And tunajua kwamba within the cytoplasm is where the cellular metabolic process are taking place and other organs are suspended. Now, each muscle is surrounded by specialized membrane inaitwa sarcolemma. Kwa the membrane ambayo ime surround each muscle kwa zote tatu inaitwa sarcolemma. And muscles are made up of nuclei scattered in the cytoplasm and also made up of numerous threads called microfibril ambayo ni nyuzi ambazo zinasaidia katika contraction. Vile vile there are two types of filaments ambapo zimetengeneza muscle, kuna thick na thin filament. Na this thick filament are made up of myosin protein and a thin filament made up of actin protein. And the cardiac muscle, within the cardiac muscle there are specialized cell ambayo inaitwa pacemaker cell. This pacemaker cell is the one which control the contraction in the heart by receiving signal from the nervous system ambayo ni autonomic nervous system that promptly either speed or slow down the heart rate. So this is one of the adaptation and the general structure of the muscles. And this is the general structure of the muscle. Naangalia the membrane, the outer membrane or cover of the muscle or cell membrane tunaweza kuita inaitwa sarcolemma, lakini within kuna small or mini cytoplasm or that's tunaita sarcoplasm. Vile vile within the muscle kuna nuclei na vile vile kuna these fibers ambayo tuna myofibrils ambayo inaweza ikawa kuna myofibril, vile vile kuna filaments ambazo zinaweza zikawa either thick or thin, ambazo kazi zake zote ni katika provide the contraction and relaxation. Vile vile tunaangalia hapa muscles, this muscle attached to the tendons. As tendon is one of the component of the skeleton ambayo yenyewe inakuwa ina attach muscles to the bone. So this is how the structure of muscles looks like. Now let us see on how muscles adapted to their function. Muscles are elastic and have elastic myofibril which provide ability to stretch and contract. Muscles are contractile, meaning that they have ability to relax and contract, and that's why they are made of this elastic myofibril ambayo inasaidia kata that kind of contraction movement. The second one, muscles are supplied with blood vessels and nerves. So this blood vessel ni kwa ajili ya provide nutrient vile vile na oxygen. Another skeletal muscle have tendons, ambapo tendons kazi yake ni kwa ajili ya kuattach muscle na bones. Nyingine cardiac muscle have numerous mitochondria which act as powerhouse of the cell. Now, how muscles facilitate movement. A muscle contraction occur when movement cell shorten. Kwa in case kama kutakuwa kuna contraction, contract kuna kupungua kwa urefu, lakini meaning that kwa kuna relaxation kuna movement, kuna kuongezeka kwa urefu. So locomotion in higher mammals is possible only through the coordinated and repeated contraction of many muscles. Kwa ili movement iweze kutokea lazima kuwepo kwa repeated contraction and relaxation of muscles. Vile vile contraction of function of central nervous system as well as muscles contract as a result from conscious effort originated from the vein. Kwa these muscles tend to function as a result of after receiving the signal from the central nervous system. Kwa mfano nitolea mfano, umeona kwamba maybe nimeweka mkono wangu katika msumari nasikia maumivu, so brain ita send signals na kuambia kwamba huo ni msumari, unasikia maumivu, what can I do? Uta pull up your hand away. Also, muscle contract as a result from conscious effort originating from the brain. Also, smooth muscle and cardiac muscle do not contract as a result of conscious effort, meaning that this smooth muscle and cardiac muscle, these are involuntary. Also, most muscles work in pairs in which each set work antagonistically, otherwise the arm will not move. Vile vile locomotion in mammals cannot break unless there is a muscle. That's why muscle is called the engine of the body. Now, the another concept is muscle cramp. This is a voluntary contraction of muscle that can cause great pain. So the cramp can involve part of the muscle or entire muscle or several muscles that usually act together. Any muscle that are voluntary or involuntary control under cramp except cardiac muscle. That's why you say that cardiac muscle cannot get fatigue. So muscle cramp hapa ni misuli kubana. Misuli kubana inatokea pale ambapo kuna involuntary movement of the muscle, na inatokea pale ambapo kwa mfano mtu amefanya mazoezi kwa muda mrefu sana, amekimbia kwa muda mrefu sana, meaning that inakosa ule uwezo wa kuweza kupumzika, inakuwa ina contract na kurelax very rapidly. This is example of the skeletal muscle ambayo ina get fatigue kwa muda mfupi, na hivyo inaweza kapelekea this kind of the muscle cramp. Inatokea pale ambapo kuna accumulation of the lactic acid katika misuli, na due to and this lactic acid accumulation is due to the oxygen deficit, or kuna no enough oxygen supply. Muscle cramp can be caused by prolonged physical exercise, kwa mfano kukimbia kwa muda mrefu. For example, swimming, swim kwa muda mrefu. Also can be caused by shortage of the salt in the body, vile vile kukosekana kwa madini chumvi, na vile vile kukosa maji, dehydration, na vile vile stretching and warming can relieve muscle cramp. Ndio maana wanariadha wengi baada ya kukimbia kumaliza ule mwendo wanakuwa wanapasha, wanakuwa wanarukaruka. Ile pale ni kwa ajili ya kuweza kuprevent this kind of the muscle cramp, ili kuweza kuirudisha iwe katika stationary state. Uweze tu stop kuna kimbia ukastop moja kwa moja ukasimama hapo, lazima misuli itabana. Now causes of muscle cramp: loss of important salt, kwa mfano kama poteza kwa madini chumvi, kwa mfano potassium, calcium. Kuna magnesium, sodium chloride from body through sweating. Kwa mfano mtu anapokuwa anakimbia sana anakuwa anatoa jasho jingi, inaweza kupelekea kupotea kwa chumvi. Vile vile overuse of muscle during the vigorous exercise. Vile vile misuli kubana inaweza kapelekewa kutokana na kufanya mazoezi kwa muda mrefu, kukimbia kwa muda mrefu pasipo kupumzika, inapelekea oxygen deficit. Vile vile dehydration, kupotea kwa maji due to the excessive sweating during physical exercise. Vile vile kutumia baadhi ya madawa inaweza kapelekea misuli kubana, na vile vile pregnancy and limited blood flow to the muscle. Vile vile kuwa na ujauzito na kupungua kwa kiasi kidogo cha damu kuweza kuflow. There's limited flow of blood, inapelekea blood muscle kukosa enough amount of oxygen na nutrient. Now, how can we prevent the muscle cramp? Namna gani tunaweza tukamtibu mtu, au tunaweza tukamsaidia, au tunaweza tukaepukana vipi na misuli kubana? First one, by drinking a lot of water, kunywa maji ya kutosha, avoiding vigorous physical exercise, usifanye mazoezi pasipo kupumzika. Also it advised to have regular physical exercise to prevent muscle cramp, na through stretching muscle often, uwe na kupasha kwa muda. Now my lovely students, that's mark the end of a very interesting concept of muscles. And now, before I sum up my session, I would like you to remind you to keep on following Educare Media for further understanding, also for following other coming session. But before I sum up, you have to take a note on this simple task so as to improve your understanding. The first question states that explain the similarities and difference between cardiac and skeletal muscles. Also, the second one, how are muscles adapted to their function? And the last one, explain how antagonistic action of triceps and biceps bring about movement. My lovely Form 3 students, I have nothing to say. Have a nice moment.